A web programming language, and Perl was one of the original languages used to create dynamic websites. It's kind of old, so if you're interested all of a sudden in Perl, don't be, because all the advantages of Perl can be found in PHP, Ruby, and Java, and there's a lot of disadvantages to Perl, but I don't want to get into language war. So Perl's an old language, so don't worry about it. Anyhow, so it was written in Perl. And one of the problems with Perl is that it's very, very terse. And what do I mean by terse? Meaning very compact, very difficult to read. So, one of the jokes in the Perl community even was that if you're, a Perl pro, I forget the exact quote, but basically, if Perl programmers, you write something in Perl, and 6 months later, not even 3 months later, looking back at your own code, it would be a disaster to try to figure out what was going on. And it was just the nature of the language at the time. Since then, things have matured in the Perl community. I know they have object-oriented Perl, as far as I understand, and so on. But anyway, that's not the point of this story. So I looked at the code base. It was done in Perl. It was a bloody mess. So I said, forget it. I told the client, listen, we should just redo this from scratch. And I'll be able to do it in 30 days. And they were pretty surprised by this, because the Perl version, they had been working on it for a year and it still didn't work. And I was able to save 30 days, and because I was going to build it using a much more modern language or environment at the time, something called ASP. Today we call it ASP Classic. This is Active Server Pages, which was Microsoft's first dynamic web page technology. And again, ASP is not a language, it's an infrastructure. At the time, you would code ASP typically with VB script or JavaScript, although the vast majority of people would use VB script. Anyhow, despite all the shortcomings that ASP has, and especially compared to today, you wouldn't want to use ASP today, it's very old school. It was light years ahead of Perl in many respects. So I got the gig, I got the contract, and indeed I was able to rebuild their thing from scratch using ASP, and I got it done in 30 days, and it worked fine. And it's not a testament to me being a great coder. I'm okay, I know my stuff, but I'm not some genius coder or anything. It's just, here's the first rule to take away. It's just that certain languages are far more productive in certain circumstances. And in this case, Perl, because it wasn't designed from the get-go to be a dynamic web language,